Hi all. So for this project, instead of assigning you one paper and making that one paper the entirety of your grade for this unit, I divided it between blogs and the paper, right? So the second part of the assignment after the blogs is an extended response. So for the extended response, you're not going to literally extend one of your blogs. You're not going to, for example, copy and paste the blog into a Word document and then keep going. You have to literally extend it, right? Not add to it, okay? So the way that you're going to extend this response, so you're going to pick one of the blogs that you liked or one of the texts that you liked, and you're going to respond more thoroughly to that text, okay? And so the best way to do that is to expand your examples and come up with more examples. So roughly the structure of your extended response is going to be an introduction, and you should include a summary of the text in your introduction, okay? And then at the end of your introduction, you're going to have a thesis, which you do have in your blogs, but some of you are implying your thesis rather than stating it outright. But at the end of your introduction, which is going to include a summary, you're going to say whether or not you think the author's choices were effective or not. That is your thesis, right? And then the rest of your extended response is defending that thesis. If you're saying overall this author's choices were effective, then the rest of your essay, your extended response, should explain why you thought they were effective. If you thought their choices were ineffective, then you are going to spend the rest of your essay explaining why you didn't think their choices were effective, okay? Now, importantly, your main goal, if the main goal in the blogs was concision, which is still important here, I don't want you to have lots of sentences with fluff, lots of sentences that aren't really adding much to your discussion. I want you to really still think about, is everything I'm saying necessary? Is there anything that really isn't serving a purpose? Okay? But if the main goal of the blogs was concision, the main goal of the extended response is going to be organization and paragraph topics, right? So what I want you to work on as one of the main writing skills we're working on is having paragraphs that have a clear topic and then having a paragraph that defends that topic. So, for example, if in the blog you said, this author has really great use of humor, here's one example of a joke that person told, right? In the extended response, you might have an entire paragraph about humor where you say, the author's use of humor was really effective. And now instead of giving one example of humor, or one sentence about their humor, you give a whole paragraph of explaining how and where they use humor. If they use humor more than once, you can talk about more than one time they use humor and why each of those individual examples was effective in its own way, right? So you could have a paragraph about their organization, a paragraph about their use of examples, their use of personal details, their use of whatever, okay? So a lot of the information that's in your blog is going to translate to your extended response, but your extended response is a new document. You should not be copying and pasting, okay? So the goal is to still start with a summary, have a thesis where you more directly state whether or not you think the author was effective or not, and then in the body of your essay, analyze the choices they made, give specific examples of places that you see that happening, right? So you can't just say they were effective because they used humor and I thought humor was effective, right? You have to say, for example, here's a place that they used humor, and you have to explain why that was effective, right? Because you might read it and think it was effective, and I might read it and not think it was effective. Or you might have seen humor and I missed the joke. Like, what humor? When did this person use humor? So you have to point me, the reader, to where you think the humor is, or where you think the personal details are, or where you think the good organization is, or whatever it is you're talking about. And then you have to explain why it was effective, because it might not be obvious to me, and you could teach me something. Why was it effective? You could teach the other students in the class something, okay? So, you're going to pick one blog to extend and expand, but you're going to expand it with more analysis, more examples, okay? And you're going to pay close attention to paragraph organization in your essay. So here, you're going to go ahead and tell me which blog you want to work with, and start brainstorming some ideas for how to extend your response, okay? Please email me any questions you may have, and I'd be happy to answer them. I want everybody to do well on this, so if there's anything I can do to make the assignment more clear to you, please just reach out to me, okay?